Hi, Mila. I'm Christopher Gallardo with Pop Alternative. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good myself. And I gotta say, Coyotes was a really wild film for me. But for you, you must have had a great time at Fantastic Fest premiering this film. So, what was that festival experience like for you?
Yeah, for me, it was my first time at Fantastic Fest, and so I was kind of going into it and I didn't really know what to expect, but it exceeded my expectations. It
Mm.
was really cool. There was all these, miniature things happening, and then the red carpet was amazing. I got to answer lots of questions and seeing it up on the big screen, the final cut with all the VFX and everything. It was a really cool experience.
Oh, I'm happy that you had a wonderful time. And I saw in one of the videos, like, there were like a bunch of people dressed up as like from The Strangers just walking by. Did you
Yeah.
even like pass by them?
I know me and my parents, I was like, I'm kind of freaked out.
Oh my God. But I'm happy you had a wonderful time there. But for this film, you've been in a few films and series, but with Coyotes, you're taking on this leading role with Chloe. So what did it feel like for you to take such a role, and how excited were you to play such a character?
Oh, I was super excited. Right as I read the script, I was like, yeah, I want to take this. And I kind of understood it as a challenge because Chloe kind of has this underneath layer that no one talks about where she is vulnerable and more vulnerable than you'd think. And so, yeah, I saw it as a challenge and that excited me. So I was like, I definitely want to try this.
Ooh, was there anything about Chloe's character specifically, like a single trait or a single line of hers that really resonated with you and really got you into that role like completely when you started filming?
Well, I'm super emotional, and when I won't give too much, but she's
Hmm.
crying to her mom about something, and I was like, I could understand how she could feel kind of guilty right now in this moment, and that also excited me to film. Is I was like, how am I going to show this that she's revealing this emotional side to her?
Hmm. I really love how Chloe is like emotional, is like sort of emotional, but she can sort of be understood as well. And I really like how you also portrayed that. And plus, as well, you're surrounded by like a plethora of experienced stars like Justin, Kate, and Brittany. So, what was it like working with them? And was there anything new that you learned about acting that you'll apply in the future from them?
For sure. I actually really like watching older actors like on set. Um, but I would say for sure one of the biggest skills that I learned from this movie is how to improv so much.
Hmm.
Justin and Kate and everybody really just bounce their ideas off of each other. And a lot of the movie is actually just made up like right there and how we felt. And so I think that was kind of interesting for me. And that's kind of what I'll take on to my next movie is how to just keep rolling with the flow. And that's when you get the best content.
Ooh, was there anything that you sort of improvised on set that you thought was really funny and was like so happy that made it into like the final cut?
Um, Well, there was this one time where there's this line where I'm talking about how Justin has this fear of blood and he gets freaked out by blood. And I'm like, and he
Hmm.
face planted right into the mashed potatoes. And Justin had this funny idea to add like a little like sound at the end, like he face planted right into the mashed potatoes. And so we actually kept it in it. And
Oh
now
my
you can
God.
watch the movie and see that little Easter egg. But that was a really funny take that we just couldn't stop laughing.
Oh my God. I think I saw that. And then when I saw that, I was like rolling in my seat as I was like watching it. But that was really funny just to watch play out. But more on your character, Chloe is someone who is initially distant, but as things ramp up, she understands that she loves and needs them. So as you were reading through the script and going through those chemistry reads, how did her transformation sort of stick with you?
Yeah, I was kind of visualizing what her transformation would look like. And again, this under layer of emotional side, even though she puts on that she's like a rebellious teen, and I kind of connected it to me sometimes. I can be, a little rude to my parents, but I'm a really emotional kid. And so, kind of just finding that balance in between us, I think is kind of what helped me most.
I definitely understand that. And I so love that you were able to sort of balance that as well. And I also love how the film's events also center around Chloe's actions because in the end, she just generally wants to be kind to everyone and especially the animals as well. So have you ever had that experience for caring for a pet or just encountering like a cute wild animal on the street? And how do you think that's sort of reflected here?
Okay, yes, I'm a big animal lover. I love all animals, like every single one except like spiders. But
Mm.
I actually have a dog, and so like having this other dog, and when she, maybe wanders out, I could kind of feel that maternal-ish sense, I guess if you
Oh.
could call it that, where it's like I need to go save my pup. But yeah, I have my own dog, and so I just love animals. So it was fun to work with the set dog. His name was Mechie. He didn't always
Oh.
listen, but he was the best to be around.
Was there ever like a crazy moment with like the set dog that was just sort of crazy just to like even have that experience on a set like that?
um, Sometimes he would just like walk around. I don't know, like sometimes he would just walk around outside the doggy door and stuff in the middle of a take, or he'd run too fast, or but he was really fun, and I wouldn't have picked another dog.
Oh, I'm so glad that you had a good time with the set dog as well. And speaking all of these characters, those chemistry reads must have also been interesting for you since it really is just the three of you like in that house. So bringing that dynamic from those first chemistry reads to filming those sequences, what do you think was the most challenging thing for you to overcome sort of like in that developmental transition?
Hmm. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I guess for me, it was like kind of getting more loosened up with improv, I guess. And I think once I've kind of accepted the improv, it helped us all get closer, if that makes sense,
Hmm.
under one roof. And it really did feel like one big family as we bonded.
I absolutely love that you also sort of love the improv, even though you had a bit of challenge with that. But I'm so glad the improv really worked here. And I absolutely loved all these little games that y'all played. And I feel like there were some more cute moments like that that I feel like should have been there. But if there were any that
Yeah.
were sort of like cut out from the film, do you think you can recall one of those scenes that you filmed but weren't included in the end?
Um, Kind of to answer that question, actually our last day, we were filming in the van. It was the last day and we were filming in the van. It's the very last scene. We were saying, just drive the van. And we could not get a take where we were all not laughing. It's the most like serious scene, but we're all like dying laughing. And I just remember that scene. That scene really stuck with me. I remember filming that scene.
Was that like one of those scenes where you had to like go over and over again because I feel like with some of those like moving vehicle scenes, it can take like a long time to nail down. So, was that like sort of the same experience for you?
This one we actually kind of cheated it a little because we stood still. But
Hmm.
another scene that we did that was really funny is when I'm talking about like hoochie mamas or
Oh,
prostitutes to my parents, and
oh
I'm
yeah,
saying all
that
these
scene.
words, and I remember this, and Justin was like, "Just keep ripping them out," and so I just kept saying all of these, and I was like, "This feels so wrong."
Oh my God, I think I also remember that scene and when like she's going back and forth, and that, that was also like so. Oh, that scene playing out, but I think the other thing that also for sort of your physicality as an actor in this film, I feel like that also must have been a challenge for you shooting some of those more action focused scenes and some of those chase scenes as well. So, what was it like shooting those scenes? And which sequence, without spoiling, would you say was like the hardest for you?
Hmm, that is also a good question. I think one maybe like the getting attacked, I had to scream a bunch and a bunch. I guess I can't give it away yet, but she actually like gets a bit of a bite. And so I think that scene was kind of difficult to film because I had to scream a bunch and there was a lot happening and getting bandaged up. So I think that one, but it was really fun to film too, actually.
Yeah, I was actually gonna bring that specific scene up because that scene's also stuck in like the back of my mind when I also saw it. So for you, how intense do you think it really got in that moment when you filmed it? And after that, what was like, I don't know, what was that like after filming, like thought in the back of your mind when you actually got to that sequence?
Yeah, it honestly felt really real. It wasn't, it it felt really real. Like it was really Kate there going, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And it was really me there going, "Help, there's this giant thing." And it really was like realistic where Justin passes out because of the blood. You know, that's something that really would happen. And it kind of
I,
made it all more realistic to me. And I think that makes it scarier for the audience that it was so realistic.
mm, so would you also say it was sort of satisfying to also like get that done and out of the way so that you wouldn't have to like look back on it and like be reminded of how terrifying that situation was?
I guess yeah, but I also kind of really like playing those scenes. You know, it's kind of a fun area to play, and it's like this has never happened, and I don't know how I would react, but this is my best shot.
Yeah.
But I really like those, and I really kind of thrive in horror.
Yeah, I can definitely see that from like the way it was shot and the way that your performance like genuinely shocked me. And although
Thank you.
Coyotes also put you in the belly of the beast, this isn't your first thriller outing because you were also in No Exit a few years back. So now that you're playing a more prominent character, how do you think you overcame those nerds from like being a supporting character to being a main character with this film?
Yeah, it was definitely scary, but I will say no exit. I it was kind of my first time being away. Like I went to New Zealand for 4 months, so in a way, it kind of did feel like I was getting introduced to being a lead character. But it was definitely a small step, and I would say I was definitely more nervous to play opposite of Justin and Kate. But once I met them, I knew that this was just going to click and it was going to be great.
Oh, I absolutely love that answer. And both of those films have one extremely intense or emotional scene that sticks out, like the reveal about Darby's mom in No Exit. So for you, what do you think makes those moments stick with you before and after filming, both with No Exit and now with Coyotes?
Well, in those scenes, I kind of, again, I really do what I think my genuine reaction would be. Like I try not to rehearse those types of things, and that kind of what makes it stick with me after is that's really what I would do, and that's kind of scary to think about. Like, what if that happened? But those really do stick with me after. But it's totally good because after all these scary and crazy scenes that we film, they'll bring puppies or we won't stop laughing, and it's a really good environment. So.
Oh, I love that so much. And has Havana and Danny actually gone to see this film yet? Or have you like told them anything about this?
You know, I don't know, but it comes out October 3rd, so hopefully they
Hmm.
do go see it.
All right. Well, I can't wait for them to see it. And for one last question, you'll also be starring in another film about surprisingly the history of Hershey's, which I only know because of that one chocolate factory bride at the park. So I don't know.
Yes.
So
Uh,
have you like actually been on that ride, firstly?
I haven't actually. I really want to go and kind of see what it's about, but I love Hershey, and it was so amazing that I got to make a cameo in it.
Yeah.
So I know that's kind of one of a cool bragging rights that I have to my friends right now is I got to be in a Hershey movie. You know, that's really
Mm,
cool.
yeah, it's cool. Did you get to meet like Alexandria and Richard and like the rest of them? And
I
if you did,
did.
oh, what was it like?
Yes.
So, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So what was it sort of like meeting them and getting to like talk with them and getting to bond with them over this film and just their experience in general as well?
Yeah, it was really cool to meet them and see them and especially to watch them work. I like to watch how each actor does each different type of thing and each actor kind of has their own method and it was kind of interesting to watch how they both kind of played the scene and it really worked beautifully and I really liked it.
Oh, I'm glad you had a wonderful time with that project. And I gotta ask, have you seen the Percy Jackson show or the movies? Because I know Alexandria played a very important character that I really love.
Yes, I have. I think it was a while ago, so I have to dig in my memory, but yes, I
Oh, have you gone? I was gonna ask, have you gone to like talk to her about like Annabeth Chase? Because she is like a really important character that I love from the books, and I cannot stop talking about like this entire Percy Jackson stuff for like so long.
No, yeah, I find it really interesting. We kind of did an English project on it last year, but no, I've talked to Alexandria, but I've not talked to her about that. But that could be a cool
Oh,
thing to bring up.
yeah. Well, I can't wait to see you in Hershey's, and I can't wait for everyone else to see Coyotes. But Mila, it's been a wonderful time talking with you today, and I really hope that you have a wonderful day again. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.